Sickos Club.
Sickos Club.
And so I remember thinking that Above Average, like I thought it was a good name. I thought Above Average Mike Sanders was a good name. He is just a slightly above average jobber. The whole pay-per-view is just, do you have a little bit of personality? Yeah. Okay, we're pushing you to the fucking moon then.
Shut the fuck up. Number one, everybody Brett, shut up. Everybody shut up. I just sat through the worst fucking piece of shit that I have ever seen.
It was a real who's who of who's.
Yes. This was literal gutter trash that should never. I can't believe that there was money behind this.
Did you see the set? There was no money behind it.
I can't believe somebody's kid didn't GeoCities design the logo for this event.
The logo with the same red scratch mark that WWF was using at the time.
This is so beyond trash. I mean,
this was what you get when you order the Attitude Era on Temu.
Yeah.
Absolutely no effort whatsoever was put into this pay-per-view.
When somebody tells you to go suck a bag of dicks, this is the wrestling equivalent of the torture they want you to experience.
And it's just a bag bursting at the seam with dicks, too.
Right. It's exploding with dicks. Dicks everywhere.
So I played football in high school. Thank you very much. And I had a coach who, whenever we had a bad practice, would say that we looked like a pack of monkeys trying to fuck footballs. And I understand now. I get it.
That is a very accurate description of this pay-per-view, except it's a bunch of monkeys trying to fuck a wrestling ring, I think.
So I would just like to apologize to everyone that had to watch this, and I would like to apologize to everyone who has to listen to this pay-per-view, this podcast about this pay-per-view.
You know how when Trump was running, he said he'd be the MAGA's retribution? I feel like I have to be the listener's retribution against you, Degree, because this was your idea.
This was all my idea.
This was your idea, and I hate you.
So what Blade means by that is he's not actually going to be here today. He's just going to go golf.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, I'm fucking cashed out as a motherfucker. I'm also on the verge of death, I think. So very, very Trumpian this episode.
Speaking of cashed out, I wish while watching this I had whatever Cash Patel is on, because that might have gotten me more hyped.
And I developed a sty in my eye over the weekend, and I've been blaming this pay-per-view. I'm in the midst. This is day 3 of a 4-day mini vacation, and this was how I spent it, was watching WCW Halloween Havoc 2000.
Oh, that's right, folks. Today we are talking about the 12th annual and final Halloween Havoc put on by WCW. That's right. Halloween Havoc 2000, and it was trash. That took place October 29th, 2000, live from the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. There was a paltry 7,582 fans in attendance, because who the hell was watching WCW in 2000?
That's so hard to believe that they got that many people there.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what the pay-per-view buys were for this show.
I would love to know.
Oh, my God.
Like 4,000?
I don't even think there was a person worth picking out of the crowd.
12. There was 12,000.
No, just 12.
There was just 12. Oh, yeah. No, I could believe it.
So we had your commentators for the night were handsome Tony Schiavone, Stevie Ray, and Mark Madden, who were fighting for their lives. Your interviewers were Mean Gene Okerlund and Pamela Paulshock. Your referees were Scott Armstrong, Mickey J, Mark Johnson, Charles Robinson, and Billy Silverman. And your ring announcers were David Penzer and Michael Buffer. And this was absolute garbage.
I don't even think there was enough people in the crowd to pick out, what is it every week where you pick out somebody with an outfit that
fashionable fan.
Well, it was also
the
the year
fan.
2000, and everyone just looked like a fucking dork.
Yeah, that's true too. But they had to black out half the like 75% of the crowd because you couldn't see them.
I mean, if
no
you want to know what everyone in the crowd looked like, just look at what David Flair looked like in his match.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. No, that's
Christ.
a really good point.
I had already blocked that match out.
Well, no, I've blocked most of this show out.
I literally watched this last night, and I barely fucking remember a thing.
So what I think we need to do in order to even bring any sense to the analysis of this train wreck of a fucking show is we need to take it brick by brick, piece by piece. Okay, so let's start with the commentary. I don't want to go too far. It's in the running for like top 5 worst commentary teams I've ever heard in my life.
It was horrible. Tony Schiavone was fighting for his life out there.
Well, and Stevie Ray doesn't, because Mark Madden leaves no pauses in the commentary ever for anybody else to speak. So Stevie Ray is always trying to interject, but it ends up that he's interjecting while Tony's talking. Yeah. And Stevie Ray just doesn't have the over-the-topness enough to be who he's trying to be on commentary. By the way, whose phone is vibrating?
Oh, that was mine.
Get it away from the mic!
You know what it was? Like, Stevie Ray and Mark Madden trying to play off of each other was like, it was just a night full of, oh, wait, no, you go. What were you? No, you say your thing.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Am I going?
Yeah, it was like listening to your mom's idea of professional wrestling, too. Just
yes.
absolutely
Yes.
Like someone who has not been prepped on the product at all and just showed up that day out of the blue, doesn't really know who anybody is or what's going on.
They kept referring to wrestlers as their characters, like saying the word their character.
Oh, no. And this is also, so, okay. So I believe Vince Russo had been put on leave by this point, and he would come back soon, but they're carrying on in the style of Vince Russo. So it's not even Vince Russo booking this garbage anymore. It's somebody booking in the style of Vince Russo, which is probably Ed Ferreira or somebody like that, which basically what that means is there's no stories at all. There's just shocking swerves, bro, masquerading as stories. Everything's for shock value. There is no writing.
Like the swerves have swerves.
Right.
Well, it was, I mean, that was the era. WCW just like didn't do it well because that was WWF at the time. And that was what got the attitude over so much was that kind of, what did Russo used to call it?
Oh, Crash TV.
Yeah, Crash TV, because it was just moving from one thing right to the next, and it was all shocking Jerry Springer, like Maury Povich ass shit. But it felt like WCW was like, it really did feel like the old guy trying to be hip with the kids.
Well, and you can really see where the brakes were applied to Vince Russo in WWF as opposed to now where he's untethered. If I were to compare this era of WCW to anything, I said this to you both before we started, while I was screaming at my animals in place of Professor Degree for forcing me to watch this bullshit. Like, I'm on the last day of a 10-day vacation, and I spent it watching this fucking shit. So if I were to compare it to anything, it really does come across like 2003, 2004 TNA, where it looks like shit. This looks worse than WCW shows filmed 10 years earlier. Like,
there's not even a set. I mean, I've seen indie shows that look better than this.
It was literally just the fucking like scaffolding with like a bed sheet.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
There's no vibe to any of it. It really has always deeply bothered me that this is what people think of when they think of WCW because it's so spectacularly bad. WCW, this is nothing like WCW to me. Like watching this it really is like watching TNA 2003, 2004, where they kind of don't even know how to produce it. I think they lost a bunch of people who were involved on the higher conceptual levels at this point. The booking is garbage, but I mean, it had been for quite a while by this point, but that's not even the worst part. It's like the Halloween Havoc logo is gone. They've got this very thin lined GeoCities ass looking fucking font that looks like fucking somebody did it in 14 seconds in Microsoft Paint. I mean, this is a different level of terrible than you'll find basically outside of like that Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view that is legendarily the worst pay-per-view ever made. This is right about there. This
was shocking. When I picked this, I thought certainly there's something to love about this. This is the most maligned era of WCW, and I thought it can't be that bad. You know, like I said, I had a fond memory of Mike Sanders, and Mike Awesome was there, and like Lance Storm was there, so it can't be that bad, right? And it's worse. I'm tried to fall asleep while watching it because it's so bad.
Mm-hmm. I had to start it at least 3 times before I finally was able to pay attention. It was so just like, what is this?
Yeah, I was looking away. I was actively distracting myself.
I continued falling asleep trying to watch this. I didn't want to fall asleep because I didn't want to have to turn it on again. But it's like I could not stay awake. So I watched the first hour of this show 3 different times. And for
if you really want to know how bad this show is, the first line of the show is, "Who's here to see Goldberg?"
Well, there's at least 3 of the matches are Misfits in Action versus Natural Born Thrillers.
Oh,
they just keep coming back over and over and over.
Oh, I'm gonna hurt you when I see you.
Let's get into it.
It opens up with that weird second WCW logo, not the old logo, but the spiky one.
Yeah,
the alien spaceship thing. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Don't let me take all the joy of this pay-per-view away from you.
By the way, as always, I am joined by Blade Daly. Hello, Blade.
Yeah.
And Cadillac Margarita himself, Professor Degree.
That's my Fed name when I jump ship.
Yep.
It's honestly a little better than they would give you, but
it is actually way better.
Yeah. It's better than that 70s guy, Mike Awesome.
Oh, well, we'll get there.
We'll get there. So I don't usually care about cage match ratings, but I was just curious enough about this one to look it up. And this is a cumulative rating of valid votes, 61. Only 61 people even cared to vote for it. But the cumulative rating is 1.85 out of 10.
It is the worst rated pay-per-view of all time, isn't it?
It's way up there.
Oh my God,
way down up there.
Well, I mean, the first match has Conan on commentary.
What?
So,
Okay.
What's the first match?
I hold on. So this is one of the best matches of the show, unfortunately. The actual action in the ring is better than most of the other matches.
There were wrestling moves performed in this match.
By capable athletes and disco.
Well, I don't even think disco was the one. I mean, Alex Wright and Mark Jindrak were just out in their own world, struggling to keep up with anything.
Alex Wright, I think, is really high. Because when him and Disco come out, they try to do each other's dances. They're horribly out of sync with each other.
But even Alex, okay, so was I the only one who thought he was just the most boring fucking creator wrestler?
No.
Even his tights were boring.
This version of Alex Wright, this is after, he's not the dancing guy. This is after he becomes Berlin, right?
Well, he became Berlin.
He's got the shaved head still.
But his tights say Alex Wright on him.
Okay.
And so I'm like, he's got the long tights.
Right. But he's got the shaved head.
But he's got the Berlin shaved head.
They were the Boogie Nights.
Right.
They were the Boogie Nights, and Disco is now
so is it just after?
We should probably tell people. So this was Alex Wright and Disco Inferno, the Boogie Nights, versus Mark Jindrak and Sean O'Hare versus the Filthy Animals, Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio.
Also, the tag titles do look like they were made, like somebody captured them in a vending machine. They look so cheap. Like somebody bought these at Party City, and they look so bad.
It would look right at home with that crown that Teddy Long had back then.
Yeah. No, there should be a WCW museum where just this shit is displayed.
Bad-looking belts.
Yeah.
These are the belts with the guy holding up the world, right? Like Atlas.
I believe so, yes. And they're kind of like vertically large, but they're on. So Mark Jindrak, who I don't think I'd ever seen him wrestle. I knew who he was.
You didn't see it in this match either.
No. Sean O'Hare is clearly carrying this team on his back, which is not really saying much.
My biggest takeaway from this match was trying to figure out how Rey Mysterio's horn stayed on.
Me too. I was like, did he super glue that shit to his head?
Ray at least tries to he puts some effort into this match. I mean, he's at least got a little personality in there,
yes,
you know? I mean, it's still Ray.
And it's Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio Jr. as the Filthy Animals. Ray has no mask. I just pretend that Ray died during this time.
This is Ron Mysterio.
And Conan is on commentary.
Yeah.
So this is the first match. And the commentary is such a clusterfuck of stupidity and insanity.
Dude, so Mark Madden spends the whole time comparing Jindrak and O'Hare to the Briscoes, to the Funks, to the Andersons. And was he doing it on purpose? Because
yes,
he's terribly green.
He's doing it as a heel thing, right? Because this is my takeaway from this match is if your heel commentator is comparing your tag team champions to actually good tag teams because it's so demonstrably false, you have really fucked up. Like if you're getting heat because your tag team champions are horrible and they're being compared to actually decent tag teams, like, that's a bad move. Okay,
this is your opening match.
It's your opening match.
I was going to say, my biggest takeaway from this match was, God damn, this is going to be a long night.
Yes. Oh, yes. And you've got Conan by the end of the match. Conan is really trying to get over this. My God! My God! My God!
I thought I was going to pull my hair out.
And he's screaming over Mark Jindrak and Stevie Ray, who's just sound like fucking marble mouth back there. Like he's just mumbling his way through this entire thing. He's like, I don't know what's going on here. And Conan's going, my God! My God! My God! Over the top of it. I don't remember what happened in the match.
No, I don't either. He called somebody a fruit booty once, and they were like, give him a microphone. He's the fucking best thing that's ever existed. Like,
oh my God.
And that's all he did.
Well, and he had quietly retired by this point too.
That's right,
so he wasn't
wearing
wrestling.
Silk shirts and stuff.
He was out of NWO, and he was back supporting Booker again.
There's no NWO in this, is there?
No.
I don't think there really is.
Also, Kevin Nash is a coach.
Oh.
Yeah.
Remember they kept referring
like he was a coach too.
He's not on the show. He's not on the show. No. Don't get me wrong. He's not here. No. Kevin wouldn't be on this shit. But he's Coach Nash now. Oh. And he had given Shane Douglas some very specific instructions that we'll get into later.
Coach Nash sounds like a really bad after-school special.
I mean, you just know this is a messy situation because I keep referencing that Kevin Nash is in WCW still, technically.
We promise.
Like they're trying to get over the product by just mentioning his name, that he's still there. Because Vince Russo has already gotten WCW embroiled in a lawsuit with Hulk Hogan, who is no longer with the company.
This is already after that.
This is after that.
Okay.
Well, you know it because Booker's the champion.
What's that?
Well, you know it because Booker's the champion, and that's the night where it all happened.
That's right.
But anyway, let's try to stay focused on this fucking dog shit.
So I don't even remember how the match ended.
It's a chaos shit sandwich.
Won. Yeah, there's a
Jindrak and O'Hare. Jindrak and O'Hare win by stealing a pin. Conan's going, my God, my God, my God. He does it like 4 times. And I don't know what he was trying to accomplish with that, by the way. Like, I think he was trying to maybe like angle to get a job as a commentator, maybe. I don't know.
Joey Styles thing or something?
Bobby Heenan's gone. Mike Tenay's not there. Mark Madden basically is this Pittsburgh radio douchebag.
He's like an early version of who's that guy that they got now? That horrible sports guy.
Oh, I don't know. But he's basically...
It's like that kind of...
He's one of those guys who's like a Bully Ray, like Tony Khan doesn't know how to book wrestling kind of guy. And this is the wrestling that he was calling. So I really think shut the fuck up forever, Mark. And fucking just rest and piss, you dumb bitch. But
Jesus.
I would just say that, I mean, he's not even dead. But I would say that this is just absolutely horrible. And it's a fucking shit show. Disco Inferno gets pinned. Who cares? I mean, really, who cares?
Sergeant AWOL shows up at some point.
Well, that's next.
And I don't even
That's
think
at the end of the match. Yeah, that's at the end of the match.
And Conan got hurt, but I don't know how he got hurt because I looked away. I think I was making something to eat or something. I'm not sure. I just I couldn't do it.
I'm eulogizing Mark Madden, who isn't dead. So
it took everything in me not to reach for the controller and just start playing Red Dead during this.
I was like, I want to play Ghost of Yote. I want to play that. I don't want to play. I don't want to watch this.
I need to play that.
You do. It's so good.
I love Ghosts of Tsushima.
Yes, me too. I loved it. I've been waiting for this game, and it's here, and it's good, and it's great.
And there was 3 hours of your life you couldn't play it. That felt like 8.
I want a new Red Dead where you get to create a character like Cyberpunk has, because I want to be a hot cowboy babe with a giant hog.
Yeah, and you should get to shoot Mark Madden. Anyway,
so the next match was Sergeant AWOL versus somebody named Reno.
Who I didn't understand who they... Okay, so like, what was his character? Because his move, they kept saying, rolling the dice.
Like,
dice. But like, he looked like a Hun.
Leather?
He looked like he would have been like, his character would have been like a Hun, you know? Like,
yeah, he did.
The king and I.
He looked like some weird Mongolian. And why did Wall come out? Because nobody from Misfits in Action was actually out there.
He attacked. I don't have that in my notes. But
I think he attacked Natural Born Thrillers.
Maybe. Which is a really good name. That's a sweet fucking name for a tag team. Yeah. I'm just going to throw that out there. Natural Born
Thrillers. Probably one of the better things going on.
It's obvious.
Yeah. So this match, AWOL and Reno, was a hardcore match. And I will say, I did think it was cool that they had the trash cans filled up with weapons, just like bungee corded to each turnbuckle. Like, that was actually pretty cool.
That was all right.
Reno, I had to look up who Reno was because I didn't even remember his name. I mean, that's rare. Where I'm like, I remembered who like above average Mike Sanders was.
I have 2 notes for this match. The first one is who, and then the second one is I like the weapon-filled trash cans bungee to the turnbuckles.
so you're done.
The first note is
I've already.
The first note is who, and the second note is why.
Yeah. So I looked up. Reno was a wrestler from like 98 through 2002.
Cup of coffee.
He was included in the WWE buyout, as was above average Mike Sanders, who, by the way, is now a stand-up comedian. And he was included, but never actually debuted on the show, which is kind of interesting because you would thought Vince would have wanted to make a dildo with his name on it. But anyway, these guys fight.
Oh, McMahon. I was like, Russo, what?
Yeah, I mean, you could probably swap either one of them. Don't sue us. Anyway.
All of these... Go ahead.
This is just... I will give them this. They tried. They really did try to do something here. Reno took some nasty bumps. I will give him that.
And they went all the way backstage.
Which is great if you bought tickets to be in the crowd.
Yeah. And it was... This was people don't know how to do hardcore. Oh, go ahead.
That was the big kind of thing of the era, you know, because they had WCW Backstage Assault, like in WWF.
I think they advertised it in this.
Yeah, they did. It was like it's on the apron. In WWF, the big thing in all the hardcore matches was them going all over the arena, all backstage. It was seeing the wrestling outside of the ring. That was like,
and it was also very boring. But there was that one point. AWOL fucking chucked a computer monitor at the other dude. And he threw it so hard.
But that thing was so a prop. It was empty. Like, there was nothing in it. Like,
I do love when he hit him with a laptop, and Tony goes, "If you don't know, those laptops are solid."
Yeah. Yeah. No, and it's really funny to hear them, when it's something involving the computer, and Mark Madden goes, "I've always said the internet was going to kill the wrestling business." And then Tony goes, "I don't think that one was online." And it's just like, Jesus, let's all fucking murder ourselves. Let's kill ourselves now.
I will say he must have had a time machine or a crystal ball to see into the future, because if you've ever been on Twitter or Threads, that is a very accurate statement.
It is. Yeah, it is. This is one of those shows that makes you go, we should have ended the human race. Like, we should have ended it.
Yeah, this was the pinnacle. This is the
evolution was a mistake. We should have never left the caves.
Every fucking time one of these guys would pull out like a non-lethal finisher, like they'd pull out a broomstick or a garbage can, it was like you knew it was going to go that much longer.
This match is way too long.
They're not going to end it.
Way too long. Let's see how long it was. It was 10 minutes and 55 seconds.
It was 10 hours.
Two guys who really don't know how to work. I thought AWOL's gimmick was that he was special needs or something. Like, he just has that kind of look about him. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I really thought that was his gimmick. I thought that about Hacksaw Jim Duggan for a long time too.
I thought that was his gimmick.
Hacksaw. Okay, we'll get to Hacksaw because we do.
Hacksaw is actually one of the best parts of this show, in my opinion.
Then my notes say that Lieutenant Loco and Colonel Cajun, the most absolute low-effort bullshit fucking names that anyone could ever come up with.
Was it Colonel Cajun? I was struggling to understand what they were saying.
Lash LaRue,
yeah.
Oh my God.
His entire gimmick was that he would outline his sideburns, like his jawline.
Yeah,
that was all.
And basically, MIA is just the Dudley Boys. It's just dudes dressed up in camouflage.
Yeah.
And
it's like a piss poor DX kind of.
It's like DX and the Dudleys like smashed together.
Yeah.
But what I will say is Reno takes a very vicious looking choke slam through two tables.
Yeah.
That looked like it could probably concussed him, and he has CTE now, I'm sure. But Reno somehow wins this match with a crossroads.
He did.
I was going to say he buried the crossroads before Cody even started wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to hear some story later. I'm sure Cody's going to tell some story drunkenly on his podcast about how Reno was one of his best friends when he was a kid and, he hung out backstage and stuff. But
drink Wheatley vodka.
Reno. Yeah, Cody,
Vegas,
go to AA.
All
go
in,
to AA,
and that's
friend.
how Cody came up with the name.
If you want to know how boring Cody is, the booze he sells is vodka. Not tequila, not a spiced rum, just vodka.
It's not even like that Fireball kind of shit or something. Like,
Fireball is
just
whiskey.
vodka.
It's just vodka.
It's just vodka.
Like 5 o'clock vodka.
And he probably doesn't drink it. He probably drinks Jaeger or something fucking disgusting. That's it for that match, really. The Misfits in action, which next match, and that match got a 5.4
out of
5.14. I'd give it that. The first match got a 6.98, which I agree with. I think they tried really hard.
That was my exact score was 6.98 actually.
Yeah.
What does Cage match score out of 10?
Yeah. So Reno versus AWOL gets a 5.14, and then it is way worse from there.
Well, Shane Douglas is there.
It's
backstage, and then Goldberg is there, And then Chronic, here's my notes. Chronic is trying to influence the board members of the Madison State Wrestling Commission that they should not clear Bill Goldberg, who might have a concussion.
Now, they've also restarted the streak.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
Yeah. So they've restarted the streak because it was so unpopular that they ended the streak.
We're just going to retcon it. We're back. The streak's back.
Yeah.
I love that like they would have a show on Monday and Goldberg would have like 157 wins, and then like 3 days later they'd have another show and it would be like Goldberg's at 324 wins.
Well, you know what's crazy about this one is his streak is at 13. So he lost at Halloween Havoc or at Starrcade 98. And this is Halloween Havoc 2000 and his streak is at 13. So he's been injured. He's missed some time. Okay.
Blade, I'm begging you, we need a Bill Goldberg button.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. I'll figure it out. But what I would also say is when you are relying on Bryan Clark and Bryan Adams to give you really solid storyline development through the microphone skills, not good.
Yeah.
So Goldberg, in the main event of this pay-per-view that they expected you to pay for, that they're teasing may not even happen.
Wait, don't get to the main event yet. We got to talk about.
Well, we don't know.
I'm
We
just
don't know
saying
if there's
what
going to be a main event because he hit the ring post and he was concussed.
This was the announced match. God damn it! Is a handicap match with Goldberg versus Chronic. And baby,
referred to as the most deadliest and dangerous tag team, and Bill Goldberg's going to take both of them on.
but they're all about the
This
money.
is some real handicap booking.
Oh yeah, they're not, and they're nothing like APA, but they do get paid to kick ass, but not in the way that APA does it.
And their tag team is clearly a weed reference that they never actually allude to, really.
Chronic.
And Chronic, bro. So
my favorite part of this
breaking
whole
necks
fucking
and cashing checks.
I'm jumping ahead, but the whole Chronic is when fucking when Jeff Jarrett comes out and it goes chosen one, and all I could think of was fucking when Ralph gives Lisa the Valentine's Day and it says I choose you. It's like, yeah, you're the chosen one, buddy.
So that horrible segment is Chronic basically telling the athletic commission, which is clearly just two grandpas of somebody's wrestling on the show, that they can't clear him and that his streak will end. They're going to end his streak by forfeit because he can't wrestle.
Right. And then they add a match. They added a match.
Yeah, because of what
Stasiak and Palumbo
are going to fight. The Perfect Event is their name.
The future husband of my husband.
Are gonna. Oh God.
Wait. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Billy and Chuck. Yeah.
I had to do some math there. I'm like, wait a minute.
Good to me.
Oh God, shut up. The Misfits in action are represented by Lieutenant Loco, who is Chavo Guerrero, and Corporal Cajun, who is sideburn drawer Lash LaRue. And the story here, and there is a story, believe it or not, is that Sean Stasiak is not in the good graces of the rest of whatever fucking stupid faction these people are all a part of.
They're natural born thrillers, right? Or is that just the team?
But their tag team is called the Perfect Event, which I don't understand anything that's happening. So
and nobody's related to Mr. Perfect, are they?
Nobody's related to Mr. Perfect, no. So Sean Stasiak has already been in WWE before this. He was Meat.
Is this before or after they reset all the belts? Remember that one Nitro?
No, this is before. This is
Okay.
before. Yeah.
Okay.
So the New Blood thing, I think, is after this.
Oh boy.
Yeah. No, WCW just has so much good stuff in the works. I don't remember a single fucking thing about this match except that Mark Madden.
I didn't write a single note.
No.
What would you write? What would you say?
My notes just say that Chavo mercifully ends this match. That's all.
I have a note and it just says, fuck.
Well, the thing that stuck out to me so much about this show, because I'm sitting there, like, well, these are like, none of these, like, well, no, I don't want to say none of them, but like a lot of these guys weren't like terrible, like wrestlers in their time. And it's like, why are these matches so bad? And there was no psychology to any of it. It was just, let's just go out there. Move. Yeah, it's like, let's just do some moves. Like, there was no building. There was no, like, anything. It was literally just, let's go out and do some shit.
Like the commentary thing earlier, it's like it's your mom's idea of a wrestling match. If someone who, like these guys they're doing things, but it's just.
It was like when you have to go to work the day before like the Thanksgiving holiday and you just kind of phone it in. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, let's just go out there, get a paycheck.
That's exactly what it is.
The only person who has any idea what they're doing is Chavo. Like nobody else. Like, so Palumbo had come through the power plant, I think. I believe Lash LaRue either came through the Indies or the power plant. I'm not really sure.
Well, whatchamacallit, Jindrak and O'Hare were power plant guys, right?
Right.
This whole thing felt like this was the
this was a power plant, like
it's like a graduation, like a graduation ceremony for the power plant, Here they are.
It's bad. And so I don't remember fuck all about this match. Apparently the MIA wins.
Looks like it.
And Madden is saying, well, Palumbo's obviously better than Sean Stasiak. So you can see there's like some kind of turn coming, clearly, right?
Oh, right.
And so Stasiak gets pinned. I do remember that. But let's just try to forget. Let's move on.
So
match rating on this one is a 4.2.
Oh, and move on do we do to even less green pastures.
But you do get the very first and only Halloween reference on the whole show. Yeah. Because Tori Wilson is dressed up in a very shitty Wonder Woman costume.
Just a very, very Party City Wonder Woman.
Like really.
So back in the day when I would, because I'm a Halloween fanatic. I love Halloween. I had since I was a kid. And one of my favorites was always getting the Party City little catalog that had all the costumes of the year. And there was always like you could buy the cheap version of the costume or like the deluxe version. And this was clearly, they didn't shell out. They got the novice.
It goes in there with the belt and the crown that you guys were talking about.
Yeah, it really does. It really does.
Have you guys watched that Ben Cooper documentary about the old, the plastic masks and like the plastic Halloween costumes from back in the day? I think you can find it on YouTube. It's totally worth watching. Speaking of Halloween and something much better than this pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'm reluctant because you've wasted a lot of my time this weekend.
This is actually good.
I don't know if I can trust this. So Tori Wilson and Shane Douglas. Shane Douglas is the franchise. He's doing the exact same gimmick he did in WCW, and he's even doing the exact same thing he did with Francine.
This is WCW.
You meant ECW though, right?
I meant ECW.
Jeez, Blade, get with the fucking program, man.
You fucking idiot.
You fucking...
We're journalists.
You fucking...
This is hard hitting.
Shane Douglas is doing the exact same gimmick, the franchise gimmick that he did in ECW. He's doing the exact same thing in WCW, except the bonus this time is his body has completely abandoned him and broken down. He left
that in ECW.
He's got a gigantic elbow pad on that's like massive on his left right arm, maybe. I don't know.
And he cut his hair and he just looks like a dad.
And he doesn't swear anymore, so he just makes kind of dad, little kid, like teenager sexual references that are so vague. But Tori is basically just Francine. That
actually gives, so that's a good like way to describe how like corny a lot of this night felt. Was like so they were trying to do the same thing WWF was doing with the Attitude Era and leaning into like the more adult shit, but it felt like they didn't want to get above like a PG rating. So everything was like, you piece of crap. And meanwhile, WWF is out there like, you piece of shit.
Right. Vince is trying to do incest angles and stuff. Right. And these guys are like, you piece of garbage.
You said it. That's it. Yeah. Concern it.
It's that Steve Buscemi meme, like, how do you do, fellow kids?
How do you do, fellow kids?
What I would also say is the real highlight of this match, which goes 8 minutes and 38 seconds. I cannot believe this. It is terrible that was allowed to happen.
The match is the Franchise and Tori versus Tigress and Conan.
Right.
Or is it? Because at first it's revealed that Conan is badly injured and that Tigress is willing to take them both on by herself. Tigress, who is probably 5'3", weighs about 100 pounds, doesn't look like an athlete in any sense of the word.
No, it's all coming back to me. It's so bad.
Yeah, and she comes out in this, red outfit thingy and says she'll take them both on.
So she was a Nitro girl, right?
She was a Nitro girl, yeah.
Okay.
Conan's lady.
It's like, this is the point where it's like, hey, look, a couple other people quit, so you're going to have to do their job for them.
Right, right.
So Nitro girls, you're going to have to get in the ring now. Sorry.
Right. And so Tigress is going to fight a former ECW champion and Tori Wilson on her own, maybe. And then she does fight them alone for a while. She punches Shane Douglas in the balls and starts kind of hammering on Tori. And then Conan, who, this is a really even matchup because Conan's body also has broken down significantly since he debuted in WCW. He has a few spots that he does, but he runs into the ring and Shane starts just kicking him. Like, just standard pro wrestling, like, weak little kicks that everybody kind of takes and gets right back up. He, sells it like he's really down bad. Like, he's hurting, okay, from these weak-ass little kicks. And what follows is somebody would call it wrestling, but not me. It's so bad.
There was a Bronco Buster.
There's Bronco Busters. There's Franchisers. Which was Shane's new finisher to replace the belly to belly and it's one of the dumbest looking. It's basically a reverse stunner kind of, where you hug somebody kind of, but you drop to your knees and their chin hits off your shoulder kind of, and it's supposed to be devastating. Tori does it actually to Tigress. No, she does it to Conan. That's how good this is. Shane at one point straight up closed fist punches Tigress in the face.
Yeah.
And Mark Madden lovingly refers to Tigress as a broad.
Mm-hmm.
He's just god awful. All right.
Well, it gets better with the next match.
Well, hold on. We haven't even given the fucking finish to this
I'm just trying to get past it, please.
Match rating on this one, by the way, really deserved 0.89.
Well, I got that 0.89.
This is about as good. Brett, what are you doing?
Sorry.
Arts and crafts.
Are you doing arts and crafts while we're doing the podcast right now?
Anything to get away from the paper. We don't even want to
You
talk
have a guilty.
about it.
You have a guilty face. You have a guilty face.
I don't want to fucking talk about it.
This is your show, and you don't even want to talk about this bitch. All right,
I got distracted.
Conan and Tigress beat the Franchise and Tori Wilson. Shane takes the pin from Conan. I don't even remember how or why.
No, I just kept getting up and leaving throughout this whole thing.
You guys are making me so mad right now. I'm so angry because I paid so much more attention than either one of you. Yeah,
better. I know.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here. I'm like, wow, Blade really ooh, man, I don't have
Blade
anything
got
in my
into
nose.
this one.
He's remembering. I think you liked it maybe a little bit more than you're willing to let on.
No, you know what it is I was like, we have to do a fucking podcast about this.
All right. Well, hey, this next match, thankfully, we had a story. It was
So what was the story? Because somebody was somebody's father, but I didn't really understand who it was.
Well, Dave, I don't understand that part, but the whole match was a first blood match where Ric Flair's kid was trying to get Buff Bagwell to bleed on a like a Dr. Little slide for a DNA collection.
So the story is that Miss Hancock, who is fucking Stacy Keibler is David Flair's girlfriend. And apparently they were really a couple in real life for a minute. And that she got pregnant, but David Flair found out it wasn't with his child. And the implication is that Buff Bagwell impregnated her. And so he's trying to get a DNA test via a first blood match.
He was trying to get a sample of Buff's stuff.
He was trying to get the stuff sample, yes. And clearly doesn't even care about winning the match. I mean, let's be honest.
My notes for this match say, I was actually just texting Blade and Brett during the first half of this match. I don't know why I made these good people who have taken me in and welcomed me and made me part of their podcast subject themselves to this atrocity. I was feeling pretty guilty.
I was asking myself the same thing. Why did we let him in? Why is he here?
David Flair is just wearing an oversized t-shirt and a very loose-fitting pair of jeans, like no style at all. Looks like they literally just picked some dude from like the nosebleeds because he couldn't afford a ringside ticket and said, hey, get in this match.
Also, Mark Madden in this match. This is one of those times where Mark tries to be super edgy by breaking kayfabe, and he very helpfully points out, because if you watch WCW, you wouldn't fucking know that David Flair's entire arsenal is his dad's spots, right? Yeah. Like, he did the turnbuckle flip spot, and he keeps calling it a spot. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard announcers break kayfabe on accident. Like, in AEW, that happened recently where somebody's like, oh, blah, 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 took a back bump. Like,
oh, right.
They didn't mean to say that, actually. They were almost like, just calling it, they said some inside shit by accident. But they're trying to be edgy by doing it.
Yeah.
They're saying, like,
that's one of my least favorite things in professional wrestling.
I hate it.
So bad.
This is a shoot, dude.
Right. And so Mark Madden calls out every Flair spot that David Flair does. I'm going to say one thing in defense of David Flair. He really tried. This guy is not a wrestler at all. He's not good at all. He's trying to just be entertaining. And I think he just wants his dad to love him. I think that's the entire reason he's here. That's all this is about. He's like, I'm banging Stacy Keibler. I dyed my hair blonde. I have the same haircut as you. Please love me. I don't think it worked.
There you have it.
David Flair loses.
He does. But does he really? That was I do actually think that was cool at the end of it when he had the microscope slide covered in blood and he's screaming, I got it, and he is covered in his own blood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So bleeding all over the same thing that he...
I actually thought that was the one highlight of the whole pay-per-view. Like, okay, that was kind of funny.
Well, he was entertaining a few times. He was, because he was such a maniac. But what I will say is that they do this thing in this match where David gets hit with a chair by Buff, who's supposed to be like, is there anybody less like a babyface that you want to root for?
Right.
Buff is like Sammy Guevara before Sammy Guevara.
Totally.
Like, this guy cannot be a babyface. He's a dickhead. He's a fucking asshole. Right. Like, Sammy's a fucking asshole too. And I love you, Sammy, but you're a prick.
Like, wasn't his tattoo like a tattoo of rope tied around his arm? Like a sailor, kind of like a knot. Like it was like rope.
Or it was one of those generic barbed wire ones. I don't know.
Or like it was like a dream catcher, maybe. I don't know.
Oh my God, it probably was. Brett, are you doing arts and crafts quieter over there?
The only thing worse than the match itself was whatever the fuck Luger was wearing when he came out at the end of the match.
No, that's great. So that's the best. That's one of the best parts. We're almost there. I promise. So Bagwell hits David Flair with a chair. David falls on the floor and obviously starts blading. And meanwhile,
shit, it was so obvious.
And meanwhile, in the ring, the ref doesn't even look at David Flair for a long period of time. He's trying to keep Buff from going outside again. I don't know why. And then he does it for so long, you're like, oh, this is going to be some kind of weird swerve, right? Like, David Flair is not going to be seen bleeding. He finally gets up. He's done a terrible blade job the first time, so they actually have to redo it. And he does a better blade job the second time. He didn't take enough aspirin or something before the match. And so then, but the ref sees him and just calls it anyway. I don't know what the point of that was. Then Luger comes out, and apparently the Luger who had been just the total package, he was no longer called Lex Luger. Right. He was only called the total package, but now he's called Lex again. Comes out wearing a hat because he's losing his hair, and comes out, and him and Buff had been a tag team. Like Totally Buff was their tag team name, I believe. And Luger comes out to congratulate Buff and then turns on him immediately and just clotheslines him. And Tony Schiavone literally says, how many times can Lex Luger turn on people in WCW? Like, he's the Big Show before the Big Show got a chance to be the Big Show. And Buff is laying on the mat, and now he's clearly bit a blood capsule and bleeding from the mouth. And David Flair sticks the little thing in his mouth and says, I've got it. And he walks to the back triumphantly because he's got doctors on standby who are going to run a DNA test right on the spot. And then we never hear what happens.
Well, because we didn't turn it on the next night.
In the background, we see that Goldberg has arrived.
That's right.
Right. They walk right past Goldberg. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all that happens.
So the rest of the pay-per-view, are we done?
No. We would never be that lucky. Actually, the worst is yet to come, and it's the next match.
We've got Mike Sanders versus Ernest the Cat Miller in a kickboxing match. And I just want to point out that we had a horrible promo from Mike Sanders, and then Ernest the Cat Miller gives his retort and ends with, this no, Mike Sanders. This was Mike Sanders. He said, this ain't gonna be no Thriller in Manila. This ain't gonna be no, he's like naming all these famous boxing matches. He says, this gonna be me dead in your ass. And I have, what does that even mean? This is gonna be me dead in your ass, was how he ended that promo.
It kind of comes close to happening. Let's be real. Mike Sanders almost dies during this.
Anytime you have a non-wrestling match on a wrestling card, I usually don't like it. If it's a boxing match, I usually don't like it. If it's a kickboxing match.
But in this case,
I did like that they tried to at least inject some comedy into it with Stasiak and Palumbo doing like setting up the stool and getting the water bucket and stuff like that. They tried.
They gave it their best shot.
Well, and so you remember we reviewed an earlier show. I don't even remember what fucking show it was anymore, but we reviewed a WCW show, and it was like Ernest the Cat Miller's first appearance. And he came out with Glacier. And we talked about how Ernest is trying to be a babyface, and he doesn't know how. So he's just like, yeah. And he looks so unnatural. But at least by this point, he was kind of entertaining. He was the only person with any personality in this entire scenario.
I remember by this point thinking Ernest Miller had something to offer,
Yeah, he was entertaining. He belonged in wrestling. He could do something. I think he had one of the greatest
something.
Yeah.
He belonged in wrestling.
I think he has one of the greatest Royal Rumble entrances of all time, because he got into the James Brown thing, remember, where he comes out and it's just this big long thing and he's like wiggling for the camera and he's doing all that shit, and then somebody just throws him out. That was awesome. Good. I like that. That was very entertaining. It's worth his entire career in wrestling.
He gave us the ugliest cartwheel kick I've ever seen in my life during this match now.
So this is a kickboxing match with Mike Sanders and Ernest the Cat Miller on a wrestling show. And my favorite quote from this entire program.
I'm wondering if it's the same one I'm thinking of.
Well, yeah. So Mark is like, they're not allowed to do the sweep, are they? They didn't do that in Karate Kid. And Tony Schiavone goes, hey, this is kickboxing. This is WCW.
Nope, that's not the one I was thinking of. Is later on when the match kind of breaks down, and then Miller throws off the gloves and starts fighting for real. But he like has the glove. He's holding it in his hand, off of his hand, and he smacks the dude with it, and Stevie Ray goes, he just hit him with a boxing glove.
Yeah.
It's like, isn't that what they are? Like, isn't that what a boxing glove is for? Like,
it is not mounted on his hand anymore. He hits it like he's hitting him with a fucking pillow.
Oh, man.
And so they have a fucking terrible kickboxing match, and the story is that Mike Sanders has no fucking idea what he's doing. He gets fucking knocked down like 4 times in the first round. He keeps kind of getting back up.
Yeah, that was weird. There were points where like it seemed like Ernest Miller gave him like what would be the finisher
many times.
Yeah, and he would.
Well, the end of the match, I think they really fucked up the timing at the end of the match.
They absolutely fucked up the timing of the match.
Because it's supposed to be that like someone came, I forget who it was. Someone came out and hit fucking the cat with a chain, and. You think he's about to be counted out, but he gets back up. It's
Shane Douglas.
Yeah. So he gets back up, but it's after the time like expires right after it. And then they're like, well, no, does the match just keep going? Do they, I guess we're going to keep going. And then it just ends. Like,
well, so what they do, so what happens is you have to remember that Coach Nash told Shane Douglas to look out for the thrill seeker,
natural born thrillers.
The natural born thrillers. So he told Shane to watch out for him. So Shane, in an effort to do that, comes out and does, some fuckery is going to happen here. Okay. So what happens is Shane comes out, the referee gets distracted by by Palumbo or somebody. And also Sean O'Hare has like committed more offenses against, the natural born thriller. So you can just see his face turn is coming. They're going to turn on him.
His biggest offense being that goatee.
Well, and that he existed at all. So then what happens is Shane Douglas comes out, and while the ref is distracted, he punches the cat with a chain. And the ref turns around and starts counting, and you're like, this is the end of the match. They're going to give Mike Sanders the win. Apparently this win was to be the GM of Nitro.
Which I didn't even know until the end of the match.
I didn't either. And then the cat starts to get up. He's to his ass at 10. And the ref says he got back up. And then
it's up enough.
Then the round ends. Then they end up going to the outside, and the cat and Shane Douglas start fighting.
That's when he hits him with a boxing glove.
And yeah, he takes his gloves off, and he's hitting Shane Douglas with the glove in his hand, which makes no fucking sense. But he gets counted out while he's beating up Shane Douglas.
I'm so glad that one of us paid attention to this pay-per-view.
Because I just saw it.
Pretty well checked out by this point.
The kickboxing match ended in a count out. I also want to be clear that AWOL and Reno had a previous hardcore match to the one they had tonight, and that ended in a disqualification. I don't know what's happening anymore. Anyway, the next match is Vampiro and Mike fucking awesome.
Hold on, no. Goldberg is backstage, and Goldberg tells the doctor that he is having dizziness and blurred vision. But according to my notes, that just comes with the territory.
Yep.
I love that whole segment was Goldberg saying, like, I don't care. I've got a job to do, so I'm going to do it. And then the doctor goes, I know, but I have a job to do too, and I'm just doing mine. And Goldberg goes, that's what I'm here for, to do my job.
They were both concussed.
The doctors shouldn't have been cleared either. Like, nobody should have been cleared to do this segment. They couldn't even do an interview.
It's like everybody woke up that morning and they were like, hey, did you guys know there's a pay-per-view today? Oh shit, are you serious? What the fuck?
Totally. I also want to be clear that the Buff Bagwell versus David Flair match was billed as a DNA First Blood match.
Yeah. Who was the father? Does anybody ever follow
Well,
up on that?
I don't. I actually don't know.
We might have to watch Nitro on our next show.
No,
so that match was
fuck
Mike
off.
Awesome.
You fuck off.
Mike
So-
You fuck
Awesome.
off. I will not do that.
Wait, it's not even Mike Awesome. It's
No.
that 70s guy,
Yeah.
Mike
All right,
Awesome.
hold on though. Can we pause and just say I need to posit an unpopular opinion. I liked his hair.
Oh yeah, he had a great. He had a great.
He
head of
looked
hair.
great with bangs.
Okay, so I wrote down the first note I wrote was, this gimmick sucks, but I would 1000% wear the shirt that Mike had on when he came to the ring, because I am a big sucker for that cheesy polyester 70s era. I love it. Giant lapel suits.
When he came to the ring, my first thought was Brett probably thinks this looks great.
Yeah. You know me
I,
well.
I did. Yeah. And I will also say he really tried hard to sell it. Like he tried.
He did. You know what? Like Mike, I loved Mike. I loved Mike Awesome.
Dude, he's
like
a fucking unheralded great.
Yeah. And he does his best with this, whatever the fuck this is that they did to him. You know?
Yeah. So he's that 70s guy, formerly the fat chick Thrilla. That was his actual name. I didn't make that up. And he's wrestling.
You know what? Hold on. When you said, "Hey, can we pause?" I want to talk about his hair. I thought that you actually were like gonna pause for the recording because you didn't want me. I was like, Blade, why are you ashamed of that? And it's just now dawning on me what you
That
actually
we've been recording.
meant. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
you could cut that part out of my.
No, I'm leaving it in, you son of a bitch. Anything that makes you look bad, I am leaving in this episode.
My choice of pay-per-view. What were you going to say about Vampiro?
He came to the ring with a samurai sword.
Also, he had like a weird what was this thing he was wearing? Like
Marilyn Manson was popular. We're going back to that again.
I don't know.
He was roided to the fucking gills. This is Vampiro roided to the hilt. This is just before he leaves WCW. He had been in a feud with Sting the year before, which had some real highlights, I gotta say. When Sting was attacked by dogs, when Sting was set on fire and thrown. Clearly, a stuntman was thrown off a huge ledge and Sting died.
Hey, you guys both got makeup. We're going to make you feud.
Right. Well, and it could have been so cool, but it really was
seemed
bad.
like someone who almost was something.
Well, let me tell you what he was in this match. He was gassed to the hilt.
Oh my God. I thought maybe he got a concussion or something because he
did. It was at the end of the match, though.
Well, fuck. I thought it was the whole match because Mike Awesome was struggling to get anything good out of him. Like, it was a slop fest.
This was a sloppy match that should have been good.
I was cackling though when they fucking wiped out the security lady in the crowd sitting in a chair.
Also, when that fan tried to attack Mike Awesome, like how stupid are you? And Awesome selling, and he just snaps out of it and beats the shit out of this guy.
Yeah.
I did rewind that part. It's the only part I wanted to see again. Anyway, they have a terrible match, and it's not Mike Awesome's fault at all. Vampiro blew up like 1 minute into this match.
They did the dueling chair spot.
Only for a minute, though. Once their fingers hurt, they're like, nope.
Yeah.
Well, and Vampiro unleashed the worst Van Terminator I've ever seen. It made no noise. He barely got off the ground. It made no noise when he kicked the chair.
He clipped the like fucking the like leg of the chair.
Oh God! In an evening of bad matches.
Like I was like, are they taking shots at Vampiro right now? Because Stevie Ray goes, "Oh, Vampiro's at least like 25 pounds heavier than the last time we saw him." And Tony Schiavone goes, "Yeah, he's added, I don't know, like 25 pounds of bulk." And then, like, that's not what you say if you're talking about muscle, right? Like he's been hitting the gym really hard. And then Mark Madden just states the obvious and goes, it really seems to me like neither of these guys has really been that on during this match.
He does.
He had enough.
It's not exactly what he says, but it's just a fair statement at that point.
He says, I think he said something along the lines of like, their heads aren't in this match.
Something like that. This match goes for 9 minutes and 50 seconds. It feels like 3 hours. It really does.
So bad. It was so bad.
It sucks because Awesome is doing everything he can do with Vampiro at this point, I think he's really just blowing up, and he doesn't know how to wrestle this big, And so it was like all weights, no cardio, and lots of roids. And so Awesome, by contrast, has actually slimmed down a little bit and looks like as jacked as I've ever seen him, like just straight up muscular. The match ends with an Awesome bomb from the top rope.
Was fucking huge. That was cool.
Jesus. Vampiro's
head bounces so hard off the mat. And you're like, that's a concussion. No doubt about it. That's a concussion. And Awesome wins. Vampiro couldn't have kicked out even if he was supposed to.
No, they go and do like a whole ass interview and then go back and he hasn't even gotten up yet.
Yeah, it's a terrible ending to a match that gets rated 3.24 stars.
Oh, Jesus.
And then the winner was supposed to get a world title shot the next night on Nitro.
Right. Well, Mike Awesome was already scheduled to have a title shot, and he said, Vampiro, if you beat me, I'll give it to you instead. The fans boo when he says that because it's like, I paid to see a pay-per-view. Why is the title match happening on Nitro? That makes no fucking sense. But WCW, as we've seen with these later stage WCW pay-per-views, they know how to make you feel ripped off no matter what they do. They made that into an art form all its own, I gotta say.
No, this pay-per-view is the equivalent of like when your grandma said, what do you want for your birthday? And you were like, G.I. Joe. And then she brought you like the core.
Right.
Action Man.
Yeah, like this. No. It's not G.I. Joe.
Yeah. And then they cut to the back, and it's an interview with General Rection, Bill DeMott, formerly Hugh Morris, formerly Hugh G. Rection.
Which is, in a fucking sea of low effort names, it's the lowest effort of them all.
Yeah.
I will say, this match was, Lance Storm. He's the United States champion, but he has made
Canada.
the Canada championship or whatever. And so General Rection is supposed to be like the American hero, like of the match and blah, blah, blah. And how fitting is it that the American hero of this show is a sloppy looking fat dude in a USA shirt that he probably bought at Walmart, and his name is a dick joke. Like,
and
they don't get more American than
Didn't
that.
he later get fired for like sexual harassment?
Sexual harassment, racism, homophobia. Kenny
American
Omega
tradition.
and him hated each other.
Yeah, he is the most American character that there is.
Yeah, no, I knew Brett was going to make that point as soon as I saw this whole thing, and I was like, I just got to make sure we get in the what he got fired for later thing, because how American can you get?
Oh,
this was the most American thing of all. But what I loved about this match, Major Guns, I still think she's hot, even though she's like typical 90s porn star look. Very hot in the Team Canada stuff. And I did not understand that she didn't want to be a part of Team Canada. They had
she was Canadian.
I don't know. They had like won her from the Misfits in Action, because that's how she became Major Guns. Is the military name.
Right.
Yeah.
What was she before that?
I don't know. Tylene Busk.
I was going to say, I know what her real name is, but I like this era where Lance Storm was putting the stickers on the belt.
She was just Private Gun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then she
got promoted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but you're right. So Lance Storm had won the cruiserweight.
Mm-hmm. And it was like the under 25 kilograms title or whatever.
That was great. Good. And then he won the U.S. title, which is on the line in this match.
Right.
They had also done what I considered to be something that was genuinely funny, which is they turned Hacksaw Jim Duggan heel and had him join Team Canada.
And I actually like it every time he'll go, oh, and then the whole crowd goes,
right.
That's actually kind of entertaining for me.
But I love that while that's happening, though, he's just like, yeah, thumbs up.
He's still doing the same exact gimmick.
And so this match is actually Lance Storm versus, and by the way, I will say the promo Lance cuts at the beginning, it's not like a legendarily good promo, but it's not bad either.
No.
And it shows that if you had ever given this guy some real time to develop on the mic, he would have been just fine. He could have been a really big star. And it's just such a goddamn shame because, like I said, I was really just reading about WCW at this time, but I was so happy because I felt like Lance Storm was going to be a WCW world champion at some point. It felt like he was getting a huge push until you see these shows and go, oh, he was the only one who knew how to wrestle. I get it.
Yeah.
But it's him defending the U.S. title in a handicap match versus General Erection. It's him and Jim Duggan versus General Erection. Hacksaw Jim Duggan is so fucking washed at this point. He cannot throw an actual punch. Like, they're the fakest looking half punches I've ever seen.
Well, and he's out there in like red Adidas track pants and New Balances.
Yes, and he's got a Canadian Maple Leaf raglan shirt.
Yeah.
And, whatever, Hugh Morris or Huge Erection or whatever his fucking name is, he wins. Who cares? He pins Hacksaw Jim Duggan, so Lance Storm never even gets pinned to lose the U.S. title.
And
Which
Elix
is defended.
Skipper came out.
Oh, yeah.
Elix Skipper.
Yes, he came out to ward off
He was
some interference.
Canadian, I think.
Well, Major Guns interferes.
She interferes on behalf of Huge Erection, and she ends up being won by Huge Erection. So she was the prize of this match. Now he owns her, yes.
So one time, years ago, me and a buddy used to set up rings for this local promotion in Detroit, and they hired Jim Duggan. They booked Duggan for a show. So we're like backstage setting up the rings and whatever, drinking Red Bull, and Jim Duggan is on his cell phone. And this is probably not too long after this pay-per-view took place. I don't really have any idea. Mm-hmm. And in one hand, Jim Duggan is talking on his cell phone, and his other hand he has shoved into the waistband of his track pants. And he's probably talking on the phone for 10 to 15 minutes before he gets off the phone, and we happen to be in the same area. And I'm like, well, fuck, dude, we got to we got to meet Jim Duggan. Hey, man, we're fans, we're fans when we were kids. And my buddy and I were both about 5'6", 5'7". Jim Duggan's quite a bit taller than us. And luckily I'm bald because Duggan took his hand that had been shoved into his waistband, ruffled my buddy's hair, and says, "Oh, good to meet you guys," and then goes off to have whatever kind of match he was going to have.
My God.
And that's my so awesome. Jim Duggan story.
Wow. That is an awesome story, though. That
was really pretty fucking nasty. The other thing was he was backstage and he said, "All right, boys, I'm going to fall down once. That's it. So once you get me down to my knees, once I get back up, I never go back down." Wow. That was it. That was his contract.
Wow. Well, that's great. Right.
So that's my Jim Duggan story.
So once he goes down to the mat, he just stays there?
I think he meant I can only get back up once. I think that's what he's saying. I only have enough in these knees to physically go down and get back up.
He's a giant human being.
He's way taller than you think he is.
He's massive. He's just a very large man.
Yeah, huge hands shoved into his pants and then tussling my buddy's hair like he's a little ragamuffin.
I mean, maybe he just thought your buddy needed some hair gel.
Oh, some taint sweat. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Gross.
We've all seen something about Mary.
All right, next match is Jeff Jarrett versus Sting.
Yeah, this is Tony Schiavone says we still have 3 matches left, and he sounds every bit as defeated as I felt.
Did you hear how Brett just sighed? Brett just sighed that we have to even talk about these matches.
I think she's
Why is there always fake stings?
Dude.
This entire match is based around fake stings.
I swear to God, every Halloween Havoc, they're like, what should we do with Sting? Oh, we'll just make a bunch of fake ones.
Jeff Jarrett is the first fake Sting.
Yep.
Then
Well, and they had done a whole angle with him
2,
where he was like coming out as
3.
Sting. And he cuts a promo in the back. I don't remember a fucking word of it because it's so...
According to my notes, there were 6 fake Stings.
We're not even in the match yet, you idiots. Shut up.
Essentially, the promo that Jarrett gives is saying that Sting is going to have to fight himself if he wants to win.
Right. But he gives it in this, like, he thinks this is edgy heel work for the time, but it's edgy heel work for 1972.
Yeah, slap nuts.
Not 2000, yeah. Oh. And he calls the interview chick blonde slap nuts or something. I don't know. Like, is that calling her blonde pubes? I don't even know what he's doing. So Sting wrestles Jeff Jarrett, and I told you this show reminded me of TNA because you would see this match a lot more 10 years later.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
But you did get to hear the Wolfpack music, which I enjoyed because that's my favorite wrestling song.
Wow. Jimmy Hart wrote it.
It's honestly one of my least favorite wrestling songs. The Wolfpack? It's so cheesy.
Don't turn your back on the Wolfpack.
That cheesy little piano line, like, come on.
It's so MIDI, like cheap MIDI bullshit.
So Wolfpack back causing mass destruction. Don't you know the bad boys of wrestling?
I'm going to mute you.
It sounded like really, really early 2000s, like royalty-free hip-hop beat. Like,
yes,
exactly what it was.
It's like every other WCW theme song. It's just cheap as fuck. Okay. So let's talk about this shit show real quick. Sting's son apparently traveled back in time and was in this match because some dude. The first Sting that came out is like Scorpion Sting from 1989, dressed like Sting from the first Halloween Havoc. And he comes out, and it looks like Sting's son, who wrestled in his last match, that's training currently to be a wrestler. It's the only person who looks anything like Sting. And this guy doesn't really look like Sting.
One of them was an old man.
Yes. Oh, yes. So this guy comes out.
I gotta admit that popped me. Dude, old man Sting. I was like,
one of the announcers said something about it too. They're just like,
he did. He said, "This is Sting in the year 2085."
Right. So this is like, that's Mark Madden. That's like one of the few funny things he says. But there's.
I think that was the point. I think the point was that it was supposed to be like Sting in the future.
So you're not just fighting yourself in the past.
No, because he comes out with a fake ass wig and it falls off the first bump he takes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And so what this?
See, I thought it was deeper than that. I was
there's nothing deep about any of what are you talking about?
Listen. I was like, I get it. They're saying, because he's going to be old and broken down,
It's like you'll be visited by 3 Stings tonight.
Oh, my God. So the first Sting comes out, and the funny thing about all this is...
that was for the Christmas Chaos paper.
Yeah.
This match is 14 minutes and 30 seconds long, and I think Jeff Jarrett and Sting actually wrestled for like 30 seconds of it.
It's all just Sting versus Sting.
Yeah,
right. They start off
just Sting versus
by
Sting.
just punching each other a few times. Then the first Sting comes out, and it's Sting from the first Halloween Havoc, and Sting just beats the shit out of him, and that's it. That's it. That's all that happens.
Because that Sting represented him at his weakest when he was young. He got progressively. This is a deep, deep storyline.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, if you weren't hip to what they were doing, Mark Madden made sure to say, Mark Madden, and I was a little disappointed that Tony was too. They both kept saying, like, this is Sting fighting former characters he's been.
Oh, no. And that was the best part. So is that Madden is just, again, he's like, by the time they get to like Wolfpack Sting, they're like, well, wasn't he a bad guy for a little while?
Yeah.
Like, he's just...
Did he say that?
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
When Wolfpack Sting came out, because they were like, it's Wolfpack Sting. And he's like, wait a minute, wasn't Wolfpack Sting a bad guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so that guy kind of looks like Sting. Whoever that was kind of looked like Sting. And then this Sting comes out that's clearly wearing a giant Party City wig.
Yep.
That we've seen many, many times before.
That was the Sting who stopped that guy from getting into the cage a couple Halloween Havocs ago.
Which, by the way, that was, okay, so we didn't finish that. So the guy who climbed the cage at Halloween Havoc 98?
The van.
That was a plant. It was an angle. And they never did anything with it. They never did anything with it after that. Yeah.
Well,
I think
it was they were trying to get over that, like, the NWO had taken things too far. Now they're beating up fans. They're real bad guys.
You guys remember
anything could happen?
We thought that was a bad pay-per-view.
Yeah. We didn't even know. We didn't even know. That's fucking WrestleMania 17 compared to this shit. So the guy wearing the obviously fake wig gets punched by Sting, falls behind the announce table. And then when Sting picks him back up, the wig has fallen off. Degree is yawning right now because we don't even want to do this anymore. Okay. So then they pick this Sting up.
Listening.
His wig has fallen off and he's got this giant bald spot on the back of his head.
Dude,
this dude is like Grandpa Sting.
Well, Hogan needed something to do.
And Sting gives him the Scorpion Death Drop through the table. They literally lose Shivani's mic, and for like at least half the rest of the show, we are left. If you didn't think the show could get worse, the only people you can hear are Mark Madden and Stevie Ray. For like 10 minutes. They're like, Tony, we still can't hear you. And they just keep going. And like the only person holding any of this together is gone.
Oh my God.
Anyway, at some point, Sting manages to get hit with a bat and gets pinned by Jeff Jarrett. And that's Jeff Jarrett, who's done nothing in this match.
No, he did fucking nothing. God.
So skip ahead. Scott Steiner faces Booker T for the World Heavyweight title. They somehow have a 13-minute match that ends in a disqualification.
So Booker T comes out first, and he's the champ. So at this point, after surviving through all of this, I thought to myself, perhaps because Steiner's coming out second, because Booker T got like a big like fireworks display, I thought maybe this is the night when Scott Steiner, didn't he come out with a tiger once? That was the thing that happened. So I thought maybe this would be it. Like, fuck yeah, I'm going to get to see him come out with a tiger. He did not come out with a tiger. He beat up someone backstage.
Well, because he was
I think that happened on a Nitro where he came out with the tiger.
This would have been a great time to do it.
Yeah. He was beating up the dudes backstage because he was pissed that the title match wasn't the main event anymore.
Right.
And then Michael Buffer says, this was probably my favorite line of the night was, he is accompanied to the ring by his most favorite freak, Medeja.
Medeja, who is clearly supposed to be China. They named her Asia. I mean,
there was a different girl named Asia. And then this is Medeja.
Medeja. Okay, I'm sorry. I got my clones from WWE mixed up.
That was Asia with a Y.
That was Asia with a Y. Yeah.
Right.
Because China has a Y.
China had a Y. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So they have a stupid match.
AHJASHJA.
They're really trying to get over that Scott Steiner is a madman. He's
psychotic. Because he had gotten in legit trouble for like assaulting DDP backstage for legit. And he got in trouble for running somebody over.
I was going to say he had a road rage incident, but I don't know where.
He had a road rage incident in the parking lot at a WCW show, and he only got suspended for like a week.
Cash Wheeler saw that and said, "Hold my beer."
Hold my beer. Let me get that AK. Hold my beer.
Lordy.
But they allegedly, by the way. So they're trying to get over this angle that Scott Steiner's just wild and unpredictable.
He's a bad man. He's a loose cannon.
I knew he won the championship at some point, so I thought maybe this was the match.
He had not been the champ at all at this point.
He was only champ once.
If you want to know how bad Stevie Ray was at like coming up with shit on the fly during commentary, so Steiner puts Booker T through the announce table in front of him and starts just talking shit to Stevie Ray, and Stevie Ray's just kind of like, well, you haven't even beat him yet. I'm just sick of people ruining our announce table.
And so I didn't realize that, because I actually was a big fan of the Big Papa Pump character till he ran that person over. Because I thought, wow, this is a really interesting take on like postmodern Billy Graham kind of thing.
Yeah. And if they had jumped on that a little bit earlier, I mean, I liked it too. I mean, he was like so huge and freakish by that point.
It was a good thing. You know, he looked cool with the chainmail fucking like hood on, like
the dyed mustache and all that. Yeah.
And he had the holler if holler if you hear me kind of thing. And
dude, all
he had
that
like
shit
a whole
was cool.
He showed more personality than he had ever shown. It was kind of like Ricochet, like seeing realizing Ricochet was a good talker, and all of that. And then he like the roid rage stuff just drove him crazy. But what I didn't realize is that his wrestling ability had diminished so severely by this point. Like this man is waddling around the ring. Booker T is having to carry this entire fucking thing.
Which, if this is like all you'd ever seen of Scott Steiner, or like what he did in WWF afterwards, you would think like, how was this guy like so legendary?
Yeah.
And it's like, but you go back and watch him as the Steiner brothers with Rick, and it's like almost watching a whole different fucking person.
It is.
He was just washed. He was just washed.
Maybe it's like a testament, like, hey, that's really cool that you stuck by your brother. I don't know. But it's like, man, if you would have pulled the trigger on Big Papa Pump like 5 or 6 years earlier, fuck, dude, that could have been.
He could have taken the wrestling world by storm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
like,
and I think
or even earlier than that, but
I know that there was an idea in WWE that one year that the Steiner brothers were there to have Scott win the Royal Rumble.
I've heard,
and they had explored that idea, and I don't think the Steiners wanted to do it.
That's what I've always heard, is they never wanted to split up,
which is too bad, because it's like, damn, dude, like Scott had it. He was the guy. Like,
right, and you could have just had, if you were concerned about your brother's career, you could have had a fucking stable, like the varsity club or whatever,
100%, or like have a change of character or something.
Have him accompany you to the ring and stuff,
Right, Scott could have been a huge singles wrestler so long before that. I mean, yes, he could have carried WCW on his shoulders as a singles wrestler way before that. And him versus Sting at Starrcade 97 instead of Hogan.
I was just going to say, like, that's my fantasy booking is like, pull Hogan out and have him in the NWO instead.
Right.
And it would have...
Or like in an alternate universe where Hogan's like a decent person that doesn't mind losing once in a while, like... have Steiner destroy him, become Big Papa Pump, and then he's the third member of the NWO. Even though I know it wouldn't have been Hogan turning, and it wouldn't have generated the same amount of attention, I think there would have been more stability in the angle over time. And you wouldn't have been as reluctant to have Scott Steiner lose as they were with Hogan. So... so many advantages to it, but yes, I think you're absolutely right.
When the best part of your podcast is the fantasy booking that you're doing around the show that you were forced to watch.
Yes, I think we have a problem, Houston.
We still have a fucking match left.
Do we though? Because is Goldberg going to get cleared?
Well, so that was the dilemma, much like that dilemma about whether or not Sting was going to face Hulk Hogan in the last time we did a Halloween Havoc.
Yeah.
He, according to my notes, he did wrestle against the strongest and the most dominant tag team in WCW.
He was definitely in the same ring as them. I don't know if I would call that a wrestling match.
Yeah, well, check it out. It's not eligible for a match rating because it was under 5 minutes. This is your main event.
Yep.
He pinned a guy on a table that was like broken and standing up.
Who was sitting up?
How did that count as a pin? His shoulder, he was like in a field position.
Sitting up. He was sitting. He looked like he was in a recliner.
He was just laying back. I'm not getting up.
Sitting. Oh my God. And the ref counts 3 as he's sitting flat against a table. And then he pins Bryan Clark like 30 seconds later with a jackhammer.
And now
looks like he hurt himself again. I don't know if this was his last appearance, but it's pretty close. And
then
you're
immediately goes off the air.
Yeah, and he gets up and he yells, and then the terrible pay-per-view finally ends. And
and Scott, wait, so did we even
Scott
talk about
Snyder
how
just got
Steiner Booker T
disqualified?
match ended?
He just got disqualified.
And he started beating everyone with the most rubber-looking lead pipe.
Oh.
Right, it was a super fake-looking pipe, and he beats the security guards. He beats Booker. He beats
everything. Was a letdown.
Stevie Ray. Like, I don't know. Somebody tries to say Booker.
I've just blocked it out of my mind. It was so bad.
Much like Blade Daily Wishes, he laid everything with a hole. I forget it. Something about laying pipe in holes.
Something. Oh God. I know I'm down. I know I'm down bad, Brett, but I don't think that was worthy of you.
Ruined two people's vacations.
Yeah.
I
basically
got ill now because of it.
Yeah.
I think this is a curse on my family.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
your family will soon be without a father, and
I apologize to everyone for having
entirely your fault.
It is because I thought certainly there's got to be a silver lining to this cloud of shit, and there was.
The silver lining is that next week we'll be reviewing WrestleDream.
Oh yeah,
that's true. That's really, really true. I would like to thank no one for doing this show, because I can't believe we talked for an hour and a half. I'm kind of disappointed I have to listen to this to edit it, and I apologize to our fan base who also has had to listen to it.
Yeah.
This is one of the worst shows ever. Do not watch this. Please don't stop listening to our podcast.
This is the last time.
We will try our best to do better in the future.
Yeah, they're not going to ever let me pick again.
Degree never picks again.
Wherever you're listening to us, don't forget to give us a rating, like, and subscribe. Hey!
Actually, why don't you rate us next week? Rate us after the next episode. We're sorry.
Okay, bye!
Bye.
Sickos Club.